Good evening. Welcome to the news at 18:15 today, the 14th of August 2024. To present it, I'm Jack Mapembula. We first take a look at the top stories. President Hichilema to grace the way did a traditional ceremony. Bank of Zambia governor to maintain the monetary policy at 13.5%. And FAO will next month distribute farming inputs such as seeds and fertilizer to smallholder farmers in various districts. In international news headlines, Uganda cabbage landslide death toll rises to 26 and 39 missing. In sports, Rio's Kamivinga out of Super Cup with knee injury.
The Careful News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema is this Saturday expected to grace the Wuidile traditional ceremony of the Wide people of Chienge district, Rwapula province. Wuidile traditional ceremony Vice Chairman Ebba Msonda says the ceremony, which starts on August 14th, will reach its climax on Saturday, August 17th, 2024. Mr. Msonda says that the ceremony has also attracted traditional leaders from across the country, as well as Paramount Chief Pueto of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. Msonda called on all Zambians to attend the ceremony and celebrate with the Wile people. Meanwhile, President Hakainde Hichilema has called on stakeholders in the energy sector to work with government to resolve challenges that are hindering investment. President Hichilema says government has already taken both regulatory and legal reforms in the sector to make it attractive, but urged the private sector to expeditiously implement what has been agreed on. He says among the reforms taken by government in the sector is the net metering, blending tariffs, and open access policy. President Hichilema said this during the 2024 Energy Forum for Africa conference in Lusaka, which has been held under the theme investment opportunities in the energy sector in Zambia and Africa. He also challenged the gathering to be ambitious and consider investing in energy infrastructure such as the Tanzania-Zambia interconnector. And Energy Minister Makoza Chikote said government through the ministry has prioritized finding solutions to the country's energy deficit. Mr. Chikote said through such platforms, the country will find long-lasting solutions to the challenges and further transform the energy sector. And conference convener Hope Chanda has praised the government for implementing strides to improve the energy landscapes through the change of reforms, policies, among others. Meanwhile, ZESCO Africa, Glencore, and Stanbic Bank, who are among the sponsors of the conference, have reaffirmed their commitment to support the energy sector. Bank of Zambia Governor Den Kariaria says to maintain the monetary policy at 13.5%, the bank took into account the impact of the drought as well as the successive increases in the policy rate, the adjustment of statutory reserve ratio, and the recent reforms in the foreign exchange market. Dr. Kariaria said this in Lusaka today during the monetary policy announced at the Bank of Zambia. He said inflation increased to 14.6% in the second quarter of 2024 from 13.5% in the first quarter of 2024. Dr. Kariaria attributed the increase in inflation to food and fuel prices, which he said were the major drivers. On the exchange rate, Dr. Kariaria said the kwacha's depreciation slowed down to 3.8% in the second quarter compared to 10.6% in the first quarter. He said the improvement was due to increased supply of foreign exchange, especially from the mining sector, and the debt restructuring program. Dr. Kariaria said foreign reserves now stand at $3.9 billion, or 4.3 months of import cover. He said this was largely driven by the disbursement of $569.9 million by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Dr. Kariaria also noted that economic activity remains weak as business slowed down due to the impact of the drought. He, however, noted that the economy will rebound in 2025 due to activity in mining, agriculture, energy, ICT, finance, and insurance, as well as wholesale and retail. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, will next month distribute farming inputs such as seeds and fertilizer to smallholder farmers in various districts to enable them engage in winter production. FAO country representative Suzpes Filippini says the organization will support smallholder farmers that had their crops destroyed by the 2023-2024 droughts. She added that the UN agency will also empower smallholder farmers in the worst affected districts with solar-powered irrigation equipment to boost their productivity. Ms. Filippini explained that the drought experienced in the previous farming season requires more mitigation measures as it has threatened the food security of many rural households in the country. She said this when she paid a courtesy call on Fisheries and Livestock Minister Peter Kapala at his office in Lusaka. And FAO Emergency Center for Transboundary Animal Disease Country Team Leader Dr. Niwai Mutumalamasha underscored that the UN agency is developing strategies that are aimed at preventing and eradication of anthrax disease in Zambia. Meanwhile, Mr. Kapala thanked FAO's unwavering support towards the fisheries and livestock sectors. The Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board says 488 first-year students at Kwame Nkrumah University are awarded student loans. The board has also awarded loans to 163 first-year students at Palabana University for the 2024-2025 academic year. HELSB Corporate Communications and Customer Services Manager Serwaka Kawanda said the board received 1,194 applications for sponsorship at Kwame Nkrumah University, out of which 1,068 applicants were eligible and 121 were ineligible for the loans. 11 students living with disabilities applied for sponsorship, and all of them have been awarded sponsorship. For Palabana University, she said the board received 201 applications for sponsorship, out of which 163 applicants are eligible and 38 are ineligible. Ms. Kawanda said no application from students living with disability was received under Palabana University for the academic year. Government is today expected to launch has launched the countrywide aerial mapping meant to detect various mineral resources beneath the surface. The mineral survey will enable the country to establish the quantity of minerals beneath the surface. The last time that the country undertook an aerial mapping was in 1972. The survey will also see the reduction of illegal mining as the minerals will be made known to the sector. Dr. Kabita added that this will in turn attract investors and contribute to economic development. He urged small-scale miners to register as potential miners and apply for mining licenses in view of the new digitalization of the registration process. Tributes have continued to pour in following the death of Zambia's former First Lady Maureen Mwanawasa. Dr. Mwanawasa died last night at Maina Soko Medical Center after an illness. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on the country to unite as the country joins the family and indeed the nation in prayer. President Hichilema and First Lady Mtinda Hichilema has expressed deep shock at the death of Ms. Mwanawasa. And former Secretary to Cabinet Leslie Mbula says that Dr. Mwanawasa will be remembered for her works under Maureen Mwanawasa Foundation. Meanwhile, MMD President Nevas Mumba said that a legacy of hard work, kindness, compassion, and dedication to the nation continues to inspire Zambians. And Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, ZNBC, says Dr. Mwanawasa was a good role model for many people in Zambia and abroad. According to a statement, ZNBC Corporate Affairs Unit says Dr. Mwanawasa's contribution to Zambia's development agenda in various spheres will be remembered by all. Dr. Mwanawasa was trained as a lawyer. We'll take a recap on the local news headlines. President Hichilema to grace the with a traditional ceremony. Bank of Zambia governor to maintain the monetary policy at 13.5%. FAO will next month distribute farming inputs such as seeds and fertilizer to smallholder farmers in various districts. And in international news, Uganda garbage landslide death toll rises to 26 and 39 missing. In sports, Rio's Kamavinga out of Super Cup with knee injury.
If it matters to you, it matters to us.
The death toll from a landslide at a vast garbage dump in Uganda's capital Kampala last week has risen to 26, while 39 people remain missing, police said on Wednesday. Late on Friday, a mountain of garbage collapsed at a landfill site on the outskirts of Kampala, burying dozens of homes as people slept. As of Sunday, the death toll stood at 21. Police said more bodies had been recovered since the weekend, and they had been able to estimate the number of people missing by interviewing survivors. Those missing include 35 local residents and 4 garbage collectors, police said in a statement. Adding excavation work was continuing to try to retrieve those who were missing and presumed dead. The landslide followed torrential rains that have battered parts of the East African country in recent weeks, triggering extensive flooding and damage. Residents near the landfill, which has for decades served as Kampala's only waste dump, have long complained of hazardous waste polluting the environment and posing a danger. Fresh peace talks aimed at ending Sudan's 16-month war have begun despite the two warring sides refusing to enter the negotiating room. The US, which is leading the talks, insisted the event continued regardless, saying, "We are going to try to do everything we can to try to end this horrific crisis in Sudan." Fighting between the army and paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has killed thousands, driven about 10 million people from their homes, and sparked what the United Nations has called the world's worst hunger crisis. The army said it would boycott the talks days before they were scheduled to start, while RSF delegates arrived in Switzerland, but at the last minute said they would stay away. And now in sports, Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga will miss Wednesday's UEFA Super Cup game against Atalanta and the first portion of the season after sustaining a knee injury. The France midfielder twisted his knee in training at the Warsaw National Stadium on Tuesday. The 21-year-old caught his studs in the ground and then collided with teammate Aurélien Tchouameni. Scan results showed Camavinga had sprained the collateral ligament on his left knee, Rio said on Wednesday. While Rio did not put a time frame on Camavinga's recovery, the club reportedly expects the midfielder to be out for up to 7 weeks. The Frenchman played 46 times in all competitions last season as Rio won the La Liga title and Champions League. We now come to the end of this news bulletin, but before I run a recap on the top stories. President Hichilema to grace the Wiride traditional ceremony. Bank of Zambia governor to maintain the monetary policy at 13.5%. FAO will next month distribute farming inputs such as seeds and fertilizer to smallholder farmers in various districts. Uganda garbage landslide death toll rises to 26 and 39 missing. And in sports, Rio's Camavinga out of Super Cup with knee injury. And the news this evening at 18:15. Join us tomorrow morning at 06:45 for the early morning bulletin. On behalf of the news crew at K, I'm Jack Mapembolo. Keep listening to KFM.